Hi everyone, so hope all of you are doing fine. Today I'm going to make some lovely beef Wellington. So stay tuned, watch and enjoy, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more lovely videos and recipes. Take care, bye. Here I got some water boiling in a pan. So what it is that I'm going to do is that I'm going to add in 2 instant noodles and boil it. The instructions will come in your pan, but some people what they do is they add little water in a pan, then they put the noodles and then they cook it up. So that's not a good way to cook noodles, because I've seen recently on TV that the noodles comes with some wax coating on it. So what you got to do is you got to cook the noodles in boiling water, and then you got to strain and drain and throw away the water. Do not use that water because that contains all the waxy coating and everything that's in the noodles. So this will give you nice fresh noodles, and then you can put on the spices. So here I've got water boiling. I'll put the noodles in there. The brand of noodles that I'm using is called Indomie. So that's one of my favorite brands. You can either add it in straight away like this, but usually what I do is I crush it up and make it into small bits while it's still in the packet, and then I put in, so it's easy to eat. Otherwise you'll get like long strings of noodles if you just put it in like this. But maybe after I boil it, I'll just chop it up so I get the desired length of it, or you can just leave it as one long string. So that depends on your personal preference. Once the noodles is nicely boiled, I'm going to strain this water off. So you can see already the water's turned yellowy in color, so we got to throw this water and discard it. I discarded the water and I'm giving this noodles a good wash so it's nice and clean and ready to be cooked. Giving it a good wash in cool water will stop the boiling process, and it will stop your noodles from overboiling and cooking further. I'm going to place it back into the same pan that I used for boiling it. And now we can start the next step, which is the frying process. Now on top of this noodles, I'm going to add in the spice sachets that's come along with it, so the flavors and seasoning, and then give it all a good mix together. All the spices and seasoning that came in the sachet is added onto the noodles. Now combine it together nicely, give it a good mix and fry it a bit until it's nicely cooked and ready, and the seasoning is nicely combined into the noodles, so it's nice and flavored equally and the flavors are equally distributed. Noodles is ready and it's looking nice and lovely. So you can leave it as it is if you want long strands, but I'm just using a cooking scissors and just cutting it up into smaller bits, so that way it will be easy to eat and I'm not stuck with long strands hanging out of the mouth while eating it. Once the noodles is nicely done, we can take it off the heat and set it aside. And in the same pan, I'm going to pour in some coconut oil and fry up one nicely finely chopped onion. I should say nicely finely diced onion. Just heating up the coconut oil, going to add in the onion. Season this with some salt and pepper. And then keep mixing it for about 2 to 3 minutes until it starts turning translucent. Once the onions are nice and translucent, I'm going to add in 60 grams of spinach. So this is the baby spinach. Giving it a good mix, and into that I'm also going to add in 10 grams of cheese. So you can use any cheese that you like. So I've just added the red English cheese. You can even add cheddar cheese or even shredded mozzarella. So that's up to your personal preference. Keep stirring it until the cheese melts nicely. You can see that the cheese is nicely melting away, so we can take it off the heat and set this aside. Smells really good, nice and flavorsome. A lovely cheesy mixture is nicely done and set aside. Fry up 3 slices of bacon, so that's chopped up into thin long strips like this. Once it's nice and fried and starts turning golden brown, we can take it off the heat and set it aside. For the beef Wellington, here I've got 2 beef scotch fillets, so I'm going to just season it with salt and pepper on both sides. Place it off into a pan and sear it lightly on both sides, searing nicely on both sides. So just sear it lightly and then we can take it off the heat and set it aside to cool down. But before it cools down, we are going to add in a little bit of heat of mustard on top of it, so that while it's hot, the mustard gets a chance to absorb into the meat. So this is something I picked up from Gordon Ramsay's video. He's one of my favorite chefs. So when I checked out his video on how he did the beef Wellington. So that's one tip that I got from him. So I'm using it over here just to try out and see how that goes. Here's the beef. So it's come straight out of the oven. Don't waste time before it cools down. It's time to brush on the mustard. So I'm going to use the American mild mustard on it. Brushing the mustard onto the meat, and it's nicely soaking in and absorbing into the meat. Turn it onto the other side quickly. Do the same on both pieces. There it is, everyone. It's looking nice and lovely with the nice kick of the mustard. The next step is to scramble 3 eggs. Just lightly season it with salt and pepper. I'm going to beat another egg into a bowl. Just 1 egg. So this is just to brush onto the puff pastry. Next step is to take a square piece of puff pastry. This is just a ready-made puff pastry that I got from the shops. Placing a thin layer of the instant noodles that we had prepared earlier in the middle of the sheet, along with some of the bacon strips and the scrambled egg on top. And then taking the beef and placing it on top of that. Brush on all sides of this puff pastry with the egg that we had beaten up. Placing a little layer of the spinach and onion mixture that we had prepared as well on top of this. Wrapping the bottom half of the puff pastry over the beef and doing the same with the top half, wrapping it this way and then bringing the sides together. Top half done. I'm going to do the sides. Once that's done, I'm going to brush on some egg. So that's the egg we had beaten up on both sides of this pastry. And here I have a baking tray lined with aluminium foil and lightly greased with oil. Brushing the egg on this side as well. Place it off onto the baking tray. Preheating the baking oven at 180 degrees. Making some fancy slits on the puff pastry. There it is, everyone. So the first beef Wellington is ready. So I'm going to make the other one and I'll be back. Nice and ready to go off into the baking oven until it's nice and crispy and golden brown on both sides. Look at it. Our beef Wellingtons are nicely ready and it's nice and golden brown and crispy on top. Turned it over to the other side as well and gave it a good 5 minutes. And now it's nicely done on both sides and I'm going to plate it up. Looking nice and lovely. Just gonna plate it up. Look at it, so good. Here's the other one. So you can see that glossy finish. So you'll get that nice lovely glossy finish only if you brush it on top with the egg. And here's a closer look at the other one. So you can see this has also got that nice lovely glossy finish. Just cutting it and look inside. Nice and steamy. So I'll show you a closer look properly. Hang on. Look at it, so lovely and tasty, delicious, steamy beef Wellington. So I just use a Scotch fillet. If you want the beef to have a nice thick look, then just use the normal thick fillet that you get. In the Gordon Ramsay video, he used the eye fillet, so you can go ahead and buy that. I'm just making this at home. Beef is beef. This is nice and flavorsome. It's still a beef Wellington, so that's all that matters. Instead of beef, if you want, another option is you can use fish and turn it into a fish Wellington. So the best fish for that would be salmon. So try that as well. And apart from that, here it is, everyone. Our lovely beef Wellingtons are ready. So they look nice and lovely. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more lovely dishes and recipes and other videos. Apart from that, take care, enjoy, and bye.